Okay, so now I know I can't do that. So come on back, you guys, hurry up. I know I did it wrong. But anyway, I think I put it out there, I'm not sure. But Michelle, if you could keep doing that, I'd greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys come back over here. I don't know what I did. And now I had you guys all on there. It was fun. But anyway, so what you want to do is you want to check out everything they have. So before you go to the team meeting, okay? So part of the evaluation procedures is, number one, we've already discussed, put everything in writing that you want, all areas. Now, when you do that, okay, what they have to do is they have to put it in writing that they're going to evaluate in the prior written notice. That's what it's called. Oh, God, I hope you guys come back. Where'd you go? This is very important. Come back, come back. Everybody there? Come back, you guys. I know I screwed up. I'm going back online to tell you guys where I'm at. Hurry up, you guys. Hi. Hi, guys. Come find me again. I screwed up. Definitely. Okay, that's not right. It's good. Okay, that's gonna go off of there. That's not good. Delete. That's not good. Delete. Okay. Come find me. You guys there yet? Oh. Hello. Are you guys? Come find me. Hello. Are you guys there? Hi, guys. Come back. Oh. So, anyway, what you guys want to do is everything that you do, you got to put in writing, okay? So, and the best way to do it is when you're asking for evaluations, for instance, you want to put it in writing. And like I said before, put everything in writing, all the areas. I will send you guys a letter, and it says, it not only does it tell you the areas, it tells you, like for speech and language, it breaks it all down, all the language piece, all the speech piece. For an FBA, it breaks down all of the pieces for that, how you want it done. Okay, it doesn't tell you what tools to use, but it does say how you want it done, which in essence is saying, these are that I want used. This is how I want this to be done in order to make sure all areas are being assessed. And what you're doing is you're giving the school district a heads up as to what you would do because you're telling them these are the areas. If your testing doesn't include all of these areas, then you have options. And your options as a parent after they get done doing their evaluation, the first thing you're going to do is look at all of these assessments and compare it to the request that you made. And what you're going to say is, you didn't do all of the areas. So that means you will be able to get an independent evaluation funded by the school district if you write it right. Okay? So once you put it in writing about all the areas that you want evaluated, then you explain to them how. So now what you've done is after you've put it in writing, now what you've done is you put the ball back in the school district's court. So they have to respond. And the way they respond is through what's called a prior written notice, okay? And it's 300.503. And in that 503 list, one of the things that they have to provide prior written notice. Thank you, Michelle. Thanks a lot. Come back, people. One of the things that the district has to do is listed under 300.503. It's called prior written notice or notice to the parent. And there's 3 areas, I believe. One is for placement. One is for evaluations. I like three or 4 of them. Areas that if the parent makes a request in one of those areas, the district has to respond. Now, the district only has 2 options. They either approve your request, which you made in writing, and we're very, very clear on, okay? Or they deny it. Now, if they deny it, under 503, there's a litany of questions they have to answer, a whole bunch, okay? So they immediately have to send you a letter telling you, no, we're not going to do it, and these are the reasons why. And when they send you that letter, they also have to send you what's called the rights to dispute their decision. Every time the district tells you no about something that you want, you have a right to dispute, okay? So when you dispute, you can dispute in different ways. You can file for a hearing, which you don't really want to do. I mean, I'm going to tell you why. I do it all the time, but I'm going to tell you why. And if you do it, you got to be real careful. You got to make sure you have all your ducks lined up, okay? But we'll go into a hearing procedure and a complaint procedure later on, not in this training, but in another one. So what you want to do is you can file a complaint, okay? Or you can file for mediation. And what you're going to do is you're going to say, this is the reason why I want this tested done. Yes, thanks, girl. You're going to be my little assistant pretty soon. So anyway, because I can't do it. You see what happened, right? So anyway, so when the district has 2 choices, only 2, there's no, well, we'll have a meeting. Oh, I got to go back to that. So let me go back a couple of steps. So first, you put whatever you say, never do verbal, okay? You can ask for it and they have to respond, but you always want to create what's called a paper trail, okay? Paper trails are wonderful. I've won more cases and more services for children because of the paper trail than you'll ever. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for coming back to me. Sorry I screwed up. I have won more cases on a paper trail than ever. I mean, Barbara, you can tell them. We just won a case in Massachusetts because of a paper trail. We got the kid in a private school funded by the school district in a residential. And 99% of it, 99, now there's a whole bunch of other stuff, but 99% of my case was based on the paper trail. We had them by the proverbials and I commenced to squeezing. I just don't care. So put everything in writing, even if you're at the team meeting. So you're at the team meeting, you make a request. The school says no. Well, that's nice. But what I usually say is, you do realize I just made a request, and you do realize that the next step is you guys have to send me prior written notice telling me why you said no. You do know that, right? Yes, Tammy, we know that. Good. Just so we're clear, because I'm not clear that you're clear on what the next step is. And that happens throughout the meeting. Okay, so I just made another request, and you again said no. You have to put that in writing, right? And I keep doing that over and over. I'm not very nice about it, but Barbara will tell you. I keep doing it. I don't care. And then what I'm doing is I'm writing the stuff down. So every time they say no to something I ask for, I write evaluations, no. Placement, no. Yada, 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 no. Everything that I ask for, they say no. Okay, good. So then you go back home. Everything that they said no to, you send it to them in an email. And you say, this is what I asked for, and this is what your response is. I'm going to need the prior written notice to include all of this stuff. I'm going to need that from you guys. Telling me why you said no, because you weren't real clear at the meeting why you said no. And see, I have the right to dispute. And the other thing is, it's very, very important for the school district, a big no-no for them. See, they can't just say no and then not tell you your dispute rights. That's a major violation because the district thinks, and they want you guys to think that they are all of that in a bag of chips, and they are the last step for you. They're the beginning. They are the first step in a long, long journey. They're just the first step. I'm just reading some of the things. Oh, yes. They use their eyeballs and they call them assessments. Yeah, you guess another thing you can't do. But anyway, I'll get that. That's good point, Barbara. She remembers. So anyway, I say that all the time. So what did we do? Use your eyeballs to assess the child? Yeah, no. They're not deemed valid unless You can provide me documentation to prove that your eyeballs have been deemed valid and reliable by any of the appropriate authorities in the psychology field, please. So anyway, so they have to put everything in writing. Okay, anytime you ask for something, they have to put it in writing. To ensure that they put it in writing, you put it in writing. You send it to them. Everything that you ask for, and you say, on such and such a date, during a team meeting to discuss, or during a conversation, yada, yada, yada. You put the particulars of, always remember, you need the date, you need the person's name, you need the issue that was discussed, the issue that was denied, who denied it, and the date with your name on it. And you send it. Make sure you send it to the head honcho in charge, not the school superintendent. They don't know doodly squat about special education. No. You send it to the SPED director, the purple services, whatever they're calling themselves nowadays. Whoever is in charge of special education, not the principal of the school. I don't care what those fools tell you. Do what I say, because here's the reason. What they'll say is they never got it. So to beat them to the punch, you send an email. Now, if they come back to you and they say they never got it, what you do then is you send it certified returned receipt, snail mail. Get that little handy dandy card, make a copy of the record that you sent them for yourself. So when the card comes in, you attach it. Or my favorite thing, which I tell all of my clients, take your written request down to the school district. Have the school district have it, the letter in the end, have two of them. Okay? You give them one addressed to that person. Whoever that special, everything goes to the special ed director in charge. No teachers, no principals, no school superintendents, no aides. None of those people have the power that you need to get things done. Only the special ed director. I got to tell you something else too about that. Team meetings and authority, remind me of that. So when you go, you bring it to the school, you have two copies. One is for your records, and one goes to them. You hand it to them, your copy, and you say, could you timestamp that with the school stamp or some kind of date with your initials on it? And you do that. And they'll say yes. 9 times out of 10, they say yes. Every now and then, they say no. And I actually got a school district on that, and it was Barbara, your school district. They're stupid. But anywho, and it was Barbara. Barbara, remember, I told Barbara, bring this document down to the school. So Barbara did. It was authorization for me to advocate for her kid. So she did. And I've been dealing with the school district for years, and they know me well. So she goes down there, and she brings them the authorization. So she gets it timestamped. Now, what I did is, when I represent a parent, I tell them, when you get that timestamp, email it to me. Email me a copy of that document so I can put it in your file on my computer. So they did. I called the school, trying to get documentation. This secretary, wow, crazy woman, is telling me I can't ask for this, that, and the other thing because she doesn't have authorization. I said, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm looking at your time-stamped one in my hand. Do you want me to fax it to you? She said, yes, Tammy, and you don't get me. She said, I'm sick of talking to you. You're always smart on the phone, and I don't like your attitude. And I said, I have the document in my hand. What is your fax number, please? She gave it to me. I faxed it to her. Hello? Yes. Did you get the fax? Yes. Then she proceeds to tell me, all nice and quiet and stuff. Oh, it was under so-and-so's paperwork on her desk, and she's on vacation. And I told her, I don't care. Nothing about your other people, and it's buried under somebody's desk. Things go missing way too often in your school district. And I don't appreciate the way you talk to me, and you were wrong. I do my due diligence all the time because this is what you people do. I've been working with your school district way too long. I know your little tricks. Then we decided to have a nice conversation after that. That's why. You always have a copy. You always have proof that it went someplace. That's why I love email. I'm going to tell you guys again. I heard this from this politician. And he's in Vermont, I think now. His first name is Dean. And he's also an attorney. And he said, it was when Bridgegate was going on in New Jersey. And he came on and he was laughing and he said, a lot of people don't know. Because remember, in that Bridgegate scandal over there in New Jersey with Chris Christie, the scandal was all about the emails. So he came on TV and he said, the E in emails stands for evidence. And I've used it ever since. It's really electronic, but you get my drift. So if you send something in an email, it's really cool because, first of all school districts have emails. And what they like to do in one particular school district, they do it to me all the time. And we always call them on it. And I tell them, oh, you blocked me? No, we didn't block, really? Because yesterday I could get through, but today I can't. Yeah, it's not mine. Because I just sent all of these other people the emails. They all got them. The only one that didn't go through was yours. Then I contact the state and tell them. So the school district gets to block emails from me? That's a public email funded by the taxpayers. I'm going to need her to fix it. Then all of a sudden they're coming back talking about, oh no, there was something. Yeah, okay, good. Because emails are very important. Look at the header. It has the date, the time, who you sent it to, your name. And because it's electronic and it's your account, it's like a signature. So emails are very important. So everything you do, you use email. So the school district, like I told you, has two options when you make a request, especially when it comes to evaluations. Approve it or deny it. If they deny it, they have to put it in writing. If they deny it, they have to give you your dispute rights. They deny it, if they send you the notice, but they don't send you your dispute rights, you got them again. Now you file against them. And I can show you how to do that. It's real easy. For one thing. See, another thing I've learned too is don't make your complaints too big. Because when you file a complaint, and we'll go into that later, but when you file a complaint, keep it short, sweet, and to the point. Take out all they hurt my feelings, the sad story, all of that. Go straight to the facts. Because the state, they're looking for a reason not to find in favor of you. They want to find in favor of the school district, even if they have to lie to do it and omit stuff and ignore other stuff. So keep it short, sweet, and to the point when you're filing a complaint. Remember that. But anyway, so you get everything in writing. You send it to the school. You give them 10 days. Now, I wouldn't even give them 10. They just tell them, I'm going to need a response shortly because you need to go forward. So when they give you the response, now you have options. Because they, like I said, they only have two. Now, what school districts like to do, what I'm finding out. When a parent asks for an evaluation and then the school district denies it, and you tell them why you want it done because their evaluations suck, and then you tell them why it sucks. And so now the district will come back and say, and you tell them because you didn't evaluate in all areas of suspected disability. Yeah. School districts like to do this. Well, you come back over here and we'll do it right. No. They had their chance to evaluate in all areas of suspected disability. They had, thank you again, Michelle, 503, there it is, public notice. Is that what you did? Okay. Yes, filing complaints. Barbara says filing complaints would be good to know. How many complaints can you file against a school district? As many times as they violate laws. Forever. You can do, I just did 5 in one thing on one kid. Anyway, so yeah, the districts like to come back and say, they want another opportunity to do it right. The answer is no. The answer is just no, because the law is clear. The district, first of all. So you're talking another 60 days. So that's 120 days wasted on the district because they don't want to do their evaluations right. So the answer is no. Second, that's called a second bite at the apple. Okay. See, the laws are very clear regarding what the district's obligations are once the parent or the child is referred for special education, which starts the evaluation procedures. They got 60 days to do it, and they must do it in all areas of suspected disability using valid and reliable, technically sound instruments. You can find that one, ready, Michelle? You can find that one at 300.304. Okay, that's the evaluation procedures. Now, 303 is part of evaluation procedures because it's the initial evaluation procedures, which matches 304. Okay, I mean 303 is the reeval. I think 302 is screenings and 301 is the initial. Okay, so, but when you're talking about evaluation, whether it's the initial evaluation or reevaluation, you always revert back to 304 it's called evaluation procedures, because all of those other regulations on the sides of this, going before 304 and after 304, all the way up to 306, which is the determination of eligibility. So it's 34 CFR 300.306 is the determination of eligibility, which is all of the evaluations and the results of those evaluations and what the purpose of those evaluations are, which are to determine eligibility. Either yes, the child has a disability that's impacting his learning, or no, the child doesn't. That's 306. So that's where you want to be in the end, okay? So when the district says to you, they want a second bite at the apple, the answer is no. Now, the district's going to use words like, well, we just want to collaborate. No, they don't. Collaborate means we get to do it all wrong, and then when you get us on it, we get to ask you for a third option. There's no third option. There's only one. Now, in New York, I was in a case, and the school district decided they were going to do a third option. And the hearing officer came back and said, there's no, I mean, the woman actually testified that there is a third option. And the hearing officer came back and said, no, there's not. There's two: approve or deny, period. And then if you deny it, then you have to put it in writing. There's no third option for the district to do all of this. Thank you, girl. I so appreciate you. You have no idea. This is so much easier for me with you there looking up stuff. You know exactly where it is, don't you? Cornell Law. Look up ECFR Code of Ethics. You know what? Don't do that, because I can't see it all. And if I move, I'm afraid I'm going to get out of it again. But Cornell is wonderful. I use Cornell all the time. But do not allow the district a second bite at the apple, even if they use the word collaborate, okay? Collaborate is a code word for we do whatever the hell we want to drag this out, because now we're talking. And what you have to do is you say, how long is that going to take? You know, those fools will tell you, well, we have 60 days. No, you don't. First of all, you're way past that. How long is it going to take you for me to give you a second bite at the apple? And I want details now. I want details on what you're going to do. What assessments do you plan on doing, and who's doing the assessments, and what are their credentials? That's the kind of stuff you have to do. So the best way to end all the nonsense is just tell them, no, you had your chance. Okay, you got two choices: approve or deny. You just denied it. You're not having a second bite at the apple. I don't care what you think. Or, okay, this is the other thing you can say. Good. Since you have three options in your mind, you say to them, good. I need a copy of the document that says you got three options. So after you do an evaluation, you get to come back a second time and do it again, because I said you didn't evaluate in all areas of suspected disability. I'm going to need a copy of that document you're relying on that allows the school district three options instead of two. I'm going to need that quickly. That's what you tell them. Because what I'm going to show you is this wonderful website. Okay. Ready, Michelle? Okay. I want you to type this in the browser. These are very important letters. It's PA, Pennsylvania. Okay, PA. OSEP policy letters. O as in O as in O. O as in O. Sam, S as in Sam. E as in Edward, and P as in Peter. If you go, I thought I was bounced out, sorry. If you go to that website, it's in Pennsylvania, there's all of the policy letters you will ever need. And what the policy letters are from OSEP, okay, supports your position. Because the policy letters from the Office of Special Education Program is their interpretation of their own regulations. My girl, yes. Now, type in OSEP policy letters. If you type it in the browser, you'll be able to find it. If that's the same one, that's cool. Now, when you get to that website, these are the kinds of things you can look for. It's all about evaluations. It's about denial of FAPE. You type in words like FAPE. You type in words evaluation procedures. You type in a couple, one of my parents actually and I have OSEP policy letters that were written to us that are in there. But whatever it is to support your position as to what OSEP is determining what their laws mean is very, very important. Because you see, OSEP are the people. They give the states all of that federal money, yeah, to implement IDEA. Bingo, you found it. Thank you so much. Okay, that one's a little bit harder to find. I love the PA one because it's real easy, and I'll pull it up on mine too so you guys can see it. But it's really, really cool. I'm glad you're doing this for me because these are all reminders about what I want you guys to do. Thank you so much. The policy letters are really, I use them in everything. If I file a complaint against a school district, I go straight to OSEP and get their policy letters to back me up and what I'm saying, because they lie when telling the truth would be better. Okay, they just interpret the laws any way they want. When you have OSEP policy letters on an issue like reevaluation or evaluation procedures, there's a whole bunch of letters out there. It's wonderful. You're going to love it. And I'm going to tell you something else too. If you're an advocate, you're going to love this. It's called LRP. Okay, hold that thought. I'm going to look to see if nothing's nasty behind me. Hold that thought. I'm going to show you something real cool. Okay, see this? Yeah, it's the answer book. Yeah, there's LRP. Yeah, see that right there? See how thick it is? Girl, if you're an advocate, you want this book. You want it really, really bad. Okay, in the book, it has all kinds of questions about special education, just like the answer book on special education practice and procedure, 2nd edition. Okay, it's written by lawyers. Let me tell you what this book is for. This book is really for school districts and their staff, to make sure that they don't violate the same laws over and over and over again. Guess what this book has in it? Case law. Oh yeah, has case law. It's under things like determining and terminating eligibility. Whole section on that. Procedures for meeting and developing IEPs. Procedures for locating and identifying children with disabilities. Each one of these chapters has the law. It has case law, and then it gives you a synopsis of how the district got burned because they did everything wrong. So I use this. It has all kinds of case law. The back is filled with all of the OSEP letters that are used for each one of these cases that they're citing, that they can support. This is so cool. Then look at this one. Yeah. This book was $20, okay? If you go, it's called LRP. If you go to this website and you tell them you're an advocate, there you go, girl. But make sure you don't get that on Amazon.com. Amazon.com has that book for like $162. If you go directly to the website and you tell them that you're an advocate for children with special needs, you can get it for $62. That's what I did. There's another one, all on IEPs. It's the answer book on IEPs. It's so good. It's still in, everything in here is still good because they haven't reauthorized IDEA yet. So everything in here is still good. And even if it wasn't, it's still good because it's case law that's in here. And the law, as long as all of the laws haven't changed, then you can still use this information. I have 3 of them right now, and it's like they're my Bibles. They have one on 504s. If you go to that website, it is awesome. You are so cool, Michelle. Honest to God, girl, I love you. These books, I just get all giddy when I'm looking through them because you can go straight to the book and find a particular thing. You can also find the laws. So you find case law, you find everything in there. It's wonderful. Whatever is out there, whatever's been heard and decided is out there on what school districts did and how the courts found them. And you can cite them in hearings and in complaints. They don't like it, but you can. And it's supporting documentation. That's what lawyers do. They do, it's called shepherdizing a case, okay? They go and they find all of the case law that supports their position. That's what's out there for us, okay? So you can get this information just like I did. It's wonderful. But I just got so excited about that. So let me go back. So remember, you got to put everything in writing. Remember, a paper trail. Remember, the school district is going to pull some fast ones. They're going to say a second bite at the apple. You tell them no. You're not doing none of that. There's no second bite and no apples. They had their opportunity. They're going to boo-hoo to the hearing officer or to the state and say she didn't give it to us, yada, yada, yada. All you have to do is stick to your guns and cite the law as to what the procedures are and the only 2 options they have. and they think they can go back and you use the phrase, you are not allowing the district a second bite at the apple to wait another 120 days or even 1 day more for them to do their job right. The state has designated, the state and the federal government has designated the public school system as the authority to determine what your child's educational needs are. And now they're coming back talking about, we didn't do it right. Can we have a second bite at the apple? No, you can't. What you can do, though, is pay for an independent evaluation. Because whether you pay for it or not, I'm getting one done. And I'm coming back here with it. And I'm going to give it to you. And then what you're doing is you're building your case against them. This is what I do. And I tell parents this all the time. When I take on a case, I don't care if it's just a teensy little team meeting. Open it up and I go, okay, first thing I do, first thing an advocate needs to do, first thing a parent needs to do, get those records. Go down to the school district and get the records. Now, here's a trick. If your child receives free or reduced lunch, they can't charge you for the copies. Okay? They can't. Most schools will just give them to you anyway. But if your child doesn't receive free lunch or reduced lunch, then the school district can say, we're going to charge you per page, and then they have to send you a bill. And then if you want the record, you go do it. But you can appeal that too. You can appeal anything. So what you want to do is put it in writing. If you're making a request for your kids' records, put it in writing. Now, what you can do is go down to the school district, make an appointment to review your kids' record. Any records that's in there that you want, pull them out. You want everything that's in the record. I've won a lot of cases on just the student records. Either records were missing or don't exist, or wasn't in the file with the rest of the school records because they had them someplace else in the school district, and then their teensy brains, that means something else. No. When you ask for the student records, you say, whatever the records are in the school district, I want them all. I don't care what they are. I want all. If it has my kid's name on it, I want it. That's your kid's records. Because there's more tidbits of information in there about what teachers said about your kid, about what the school district is doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it. It's a lot of information in there. I found one time a letter in a kid's file from the special ed director in the town. This was years ago, in which the letter was sent to the parent, telling the parent, we know we were supposed to do this evaluation last year, and we're way past the timelines, but we're not going to do it right now. Exactly. Yeah, Michelle, you know what? I don't like FERPA. FERPA takes too long. They're sickening. But you know what? If you look under IDEA, IDEA has records laws. Oh yeah, IDEA has records laws. So you can use IDEA's records laws, because if you file a complaint for the records law with the state under FERPA, the state will come back and say that's not our jurisdiction. But what I do is I look up the records laws that pertain to IDEA. They're all matching. You don't actually have to go to FERPA. My experience with FERPA is they take way too long. So is OCR. They take an extremely long time to do stuff, and I don't even understand why. Let me see. You got the Golden Book. Yep, that's right. I got the Golden Book. And there's more. There's so many books, and they're not expensive. I mean, they have one that has every single policy letter out there. It's called OSEP. I'm sorry, I'm backtracking. I can't do that. It's called the OSEP policy letter book, and and they do updates on it every year. So you can get, once you get the book, you can get the update. But you don't really need that. If you can go to the website, you can actually download the actual letter. The OSEP book has pieces of the letter. I actually like the letter, the whole letter that has the title, the letterhead from OSEP. I like that because it's stronger when you're using it as evidence. You don't have to. All you have to do is cite it in the bottom of your, do a footnote in your hearing or your complaint and put it down there, and they can find it. But so when that's some of the tricks of the trade that I've learned over the years. I found this book, believe it or not, this agency. One day I went to a public school, and one of the assistant special ed director, he liked me as a friend, and he liked what I did. He had respect for me, and I have respect for him. He was really cool beans, and I don't say that much about sped directors or assistants, but this guy was really cool, and he understood me as far as why I get so excited and why I'm so passionate in what I do. But they had the IEP one just laying on the thing. It was brand spanking new, and I was like, where did you get that book? And he said, You want it? And I said, yeah. He said, well, you know, things go missing all the time. That has been, that IEP one, I use it so much. Look what I did. Watch that. Oh, there it is. I can't. I had to put it in a binder. It's all myself. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. See what I did? It's got tabs on it. I got writing all over it. I had to separate the pages, okay, and put it in its own book. It's all highlighted. It's got all kinds of stuff in it. But it's the answer book on individualized education programs, 3rd edition, and I believe it's still the most updated one. It's wonderful. I absolutely like it. Freedom of Information Act, yes, you can always get that. Freedom of Information Act for public schools is good to see how much money they're paying an attorney. Yeah, you can do that, send it to the town. Don't even send it to the Sped director, send it to the town, okay? That's how you can find out, because any money they're spending on your kid for special education, any money the public school uses to educate your child, whether it's teachers, supports, defending themselves with their attorneys, the salaries of the teachers and providers, the salary of the special ed director and their assistants, right down to the secretaries and the janitors, are all a matter of public record. The evaluations that the state has to come in and do in your school district, like every 3 to 6 years, that's a matter of public record. So, and it's supposed to be online. And if it's not, you can go on OSEP and you can get the actual determination of eligibility and any evaluations that were done on your state and what their findings were. You can find it on the OSEP thing. And what's very important is the contact people that for each state has a contact person in OSEP that is the person that comes in and oversees and enforces IDEA in the state. So there's actually a page for that too. The contact people are wonderful. I get mad at them sometimes, but it's just the nature of the beast. But anyway, I keep bouncing. So, okay, so we did the paper trail as far as putting your stuff in writing. So now the district gives it to you, and they tell you, let's say hypothetically, they said, okay, we're denying it. So now you have options. So you either say, okay, good. You have that document though. Don't let them just say it. Always make them put everything they say in writing. And if they don't, you do it. You can say something to the effect like, pursuant to our conversation today at such and such, during such and such, with such and such, this is what I asked and this is what your response is. That forces them to answer you in writing because they don't like putting anything in writing. They don't do it. They don't do it. They don't want to. I just had a mother tell me that she sent an email to the school district asking them about their program. And they lied. And then when she met with them face to face, they said they were doing it. And then when she met with them face to face, they said, yeah, no, you were right. We're not doing it like that. She said, but that's not what you said in your email to me. She said, no, I don't put any of that stuff in an email. But you're going to admit to me, yes, I told her. Of course they're going to do that. It's your word against hers that even happened. Are you kidding me? So that's why you have to put everything in writing. It doesn't matter that they said no. What matters is she went to the school and saw the actual program. She has proof that she was there. They had to schedule the meeting. Why would she make that crap up? So her credibility, that's another thing that's very important. Your credibility is very important, especially if you're in front of a hearing officer. How you contain yourself, how you present yourself, you have to be very succinct. I won a case in New York because my client was so credible. It was unbelievable. She was a quick learner. She participated fully in the entire process with me. I didn't do anything by myself. I called her up. I said, I need this. She said, oh, she'd call me up and say, what does this mean? And I tell her what it meant. And she went and looked it up. And she took the initiative and took it to the next level. It got to the point in one of the hearings that we had, which was 14 days long, the hearing officer was handing her the papers. And I said, go ahead. I represented her. But the hearing officer even recognized that the parent had way more credibility than the school district. It was disgusting. I mean, it was a disgusting hearing. But anyway, she understood the process. The more credible you are, the more definitive you are in how you write your emails to these schools and what you're citing and what you're providing them to back up, the better you look. They're going to say it doesn't matter. Like I just got a letter from an attorney and he's trying to pretend that, you know, you're incorrect in all of your statements. So I broke it down. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. And then I told him what it meant. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to tell you what. Rather than you just telling me I'm wrong because you put it in writing and you typed it, here's what you do. Send me the documents you're relying on. Send me a copy of the school district's policies, practices, and procedures, the written ones that allow you guys to break this law that I'm saying you're breaking. Show me the proof. I'm from Missouri. I'm from the show me state. That's what I tell them. I'm the show me state. Show me. Words coming out of your mouth don't mean anything to me. What makes you think your words coming out of your mouth are better than mine coming out of my mouth? That's how you have to be confident. They don't like that. That's why they don't like me. Good. I don't like them either. We're even. I have very little respect for people who would pick on a child with a disability. I'm just saying. Why wouldn't you do everything in your power to help that child? Because they're crazy. I know, Barbara, they're still doing that to your son. We're going to get them. It's okay. I know they're keeping all of the reports. I know they're doing all of that. Yeah. Yeah, they are. And I'm not trying to push you aside, honey. You're absolutely right. They're still doing it because they're crazy. Okay. And there's nothing we can do. The only thing we can do is constantly fight back. Okay. The paper trail, just remember everybody. I don't care what they say. I don't care how they say. If they want a second bite of the apple, the answer is no. Put it in writing, tell them no, you had your chance. The law provides that you only have two choices. Prove or deny. You denied, you're done. I gave you the opportunity. We're not dragging this out. Are you crazy? You had 60 days. We're not going to add another 120 days or one more day. We're not doing none of it. If you guys didn't know to do it right, so you underestimated me. That is your biggest weapon too. They underestimate parents. They want to demean you. They want to degrade you. They want you to feel afraid. They want you to not challenge their authority. They take offense to that, in fact. Bite me. I don't care nothing about you taking offense to what I'm doing. What we need to do is be clear and concise. Make sure you create that paper trail. Make sure you have documentation to back up what you're saying. If you're accusing them of doing something, pull out that document. See what it says right here. Why does it say this? You didn't do that. Pull out that IEP. When you go to team meetings, you bring your records. You bring your IEP. Okay. Another thing. When you're getting your evaluations done, when you ask for them, in your request, and until it's done, you keep reminding them of this. You want a copy 48 hours before the team meeting to discuss the results of those evaluations. Now, they don't want to do that because they don't want you prepared to ask questions because, you know, they got a timeline, an hour. That's all they want to give you. They don't even want to reschedule. They don't want you asking questions. Yeah, remember, Barbara? We were at a team meeting and we're discussing the evaluations and this fluff meeting, I call them, fluff. Everybody goes around the table, talks about the evaluation. We get up, they write the IEP, and then so when we go to ask questions, now nobody wants to answer the questions because I ask hard questions. I ask them, and they don't want to answer them. And then because their answers are stupid, now I got to take another one. I got to ask another one. Now they're mad. Oh, the last meeting I had with my girl Barbara, I called it exactly what it was, a fluff meeting. So I told them, this is what I want you to do because I'm all set with this stupid meeting because you're such in a rush to go back and not educate children. So let's hurry up and make this happen. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Do whatever you want because I'm rejecting it. It's like we had this stupid fluff meeting. I'm telling you right now, I'm rejecting it all, okay? Because you didn't do anything you were supposed to do. And you can't even answer my questions. And you don't want me to ask you any questions. What you want to do is have a fluff meeting to say that you did and then don't. So I'll wait for the document. We'll review it. And then I'm going to reject it. Okay? Because I already know you can't answer my question, so that means none of this stuff was assessed. Now, the reason why I was so angry is because we had 2 meetings already. I believe that was the same kid. Because the morons that they are, after I asked for the documents 48 hours before the team meeting, they decided to leave out a few. Maybe that was the other kid. But they did it with both kids. They forgot to send me some of the evaluations. Guess what we had to do? Schedule another meeting. Oh, was that wonderful? So you thought we were going to sit here and talk, oh, but the reason why those people weren't there is because that was a Club Med place. It was the other kid. It was a Club Med place. Everything's inclusive. I guess we're going to Sandals. Kids are going to lay on the beach. I don't know how you do inclusive, but they did. So they're going to tell you, yeah, I know, it was him. So they're going to tell you a whole lot of bull, and everything you need to do, everything has to be in writing, okay? Everything has to be sent to the head person in charge. Everything has to be clear and concise. Leave out all the drama, all the nastiness, and I know it's hard because it's hard for me. You can be smart alecky if you want. I am. They call me a smart ass. I don't care. And if you need help, call me or text me or get in touch with me some way, and I will give you what you need. I am going to post the letter, the template that I use when I'm requesting evaluations in all areas of suspected disability. And you can pick out, like if you just want to do a speech and language eval, but you want it to be comprehensive, you can pick out just that one piece in that paragraph and cut and paste it and send it to the school. Okay? I'm going to put that out there for you guys. Michelle, you have been phenomenal today. I really appreciate you putting that stuff out there for my peeps and helping out. I really thank you so much. Now, that was just the paper trail part. The next time we talk, I think we need to talk about broad or fluency of reading and fluency and all the other areas. I'll get more precise with that. This was more about the need for requesting the evaluations, creating that paper trail, getting the evaluations 48 hours before the team meeting. The reason why that's important is so that you can prepare for that meeting. That's why they don't want you to have it. That's why they'll lie and say, we'll have the meeting day comes and you still don't have the evaluations. Then you pick up the phone and you call them and you cancel. And then you put it in writing why you canceled. I'm going to need those evaluations before you schedule the next meeting. 48 hours before the next meeting. I'm going to need that, or I'm going to file against you because it's actually in the law. You have a right to have those evaluations 48 hours before the team meeting. And the reason why is because Congress knew school districts would do this crazy nut stuff. So they anticipated a problem. So rather than have the problem, they put that piece in there. You have the right to request the evaluations that the school district is going to do 48 hours before the team meeting. Because believe this, they're all sitting around the table discussing what they're going to tell you at the meeting regarding their evaluations. Another thing, the evaluations are supposed to include recommendations. Yeah, from each evaluator. Not to say, we'll discuss the recommendations of the speech and language evaluation results with the team. I'm not a speech and language evaluator. I mean pathologist. Neither is the mom. To my knowledge, nobody else sitting at that table is a speech and language pathologist except the speech and language pathologist. Therefore, the speech and language pathologist needs to put in a recommendation because we can't decide what her results say. The same thing goes for every other discipline sitting at that table. And that's why they don't put it in there, because they don't want you to have a heads up. You have to, where's the recommendation? I got into an argument with a facilitator from the state because he decided to tell me that they didn't need to put that in there in one of my team meetings. Yes, they do. That's their job. You did an evaluation with no recommendations. You're going to rely on other people who are not even in your field. The reason why they do that is to limit the cost. That's why. What they're really saying is, I can't put this in here because the SPED director told me not to. That's why they do it. So you have to force them to put it in there, and you can file against them with the licensing board. In Massachusetts, it's called the Professional Licensing Board. You can file against the individual evaluator, the speech and language pathologist. You can file against the OT, the PT, the board certified behaviorist. You can go right to BACB.com and you can file a complaint that their evaluations did not include recommendations. It's supposed to. It says in their own regulations what their evaluations have to include. And when they don't, it means it's a rigged game, because if you go get independence, guess what it's going to have in there? Recommendations. The recommendations are going to include if the child needs the service, the frequency and duration of that service, okay, the credentials of the person providing that service, and what that service has to look like for that kid in order for that child to make progress in that particular discipline. Yes. That's what your evaluation is supposed to say. They lie. They just lie. Push that issue. Ask them, where's your recommendations? Well, the whole team, no, your response is, oh, so everybody here's a speech and language pathologist. You can see a whole bunch of people looking up at the sky and stuff. Exactly. So under your regulations, you don't have to put recommendations in there because you work for the school district? Is that what you're telling me? No, that's not what I said at all. Oh, okay. So what are your recommendations given your result of the test you administered to my child? I'm going to need you to speak. The special ed director, whoever's ahead of the team, jump in and stop you. Good. So this is inconclusive, what you're telling me. Yeah. Oh, the other thing is, when you have a meeting with the school, whoever is sitting at that team has to have the authority to make a decision about your request, okay? So like you have a team meeting and it's about evaluations. And then the team chair says, well, I have to, I'll get back to you on that. I have to go check that out with so-and-so. What? You mean you don't have the authority to make decisions regarding my request? And they're dumb. They'll tell you no. And you say, good, this is an illegal team meeting. I'm all set. Tell you what I want you to do is reschedule this team meeting real quick like. And I want somebody here with the authority to make a decision regarding my request. 9 times out of 10, you can get up and just leave and say reschedule it and then go home, send them an email and tell them why you canceled the meeting. Because the law says there's supposed to be somebody who's designated from the school district, a representative from the school district, who was either the authority or was designated with the authority to make decisions regarding your requests, okay? Placement, evaluations, denial of, all of that, okay? If there's not, that's an illegal team meeting. If the appropriate people aren't sitting at the team who wrote evaluations, you can't have the speech and language pathologist talking about the OT. And we can't have the team chair talking about the FBA that was done unless that person is licensed and certified in that field. Okay? Everybody sitting at the table has to be licensed and certified in that particular field. Now, here's a hiccup. That's all it says. But see, what you have to do is, they're going to say, because you could have somebody sitting at the table who's a speech and language pathologist, but that wasn't the speech and language pathologist that actually did the evaluation. So when you go to ask questions, that speech and language pathologist is going to say, I don't know, I didn't do the evaluation. Why are you here? You didn't do the evaluation. So you can't answer any of my questions. Then you look at the person in charge and you say, I'm going to need these questions answered because it's not in here. And I don't know why it's not in here. And the speech and language pathologist that you have here doesn't know why, because that person didn't write it. See what I'm talking about? See, this all works together. It's real easy. I'm telling you, this is real easy to understand. They're running game constantly. You got to be on your toes and you got to be ready. And the only way to do it, I learned this after 20 years. And I did my research. And when I was doing this, when I came up and I became an advocate in 1998, let me tell you something. There was nothing out there. There was no internet like we have now. The school district's biggest enemy right now is the internet. They hate it because I get information like that. For instance, I was doing a motions hearing for oral arguments on why I should be able to represent this kid. And one of my arguments was that the state doesn't have a law that says I can't do it. In fact, the state has a law that says if I'm in a courtroom and there's a magistrate, I can actually represent a person in front of a magistrate in a courtroom. But the state's telling me in Pennsylvania that I can't do it in a state special education hearing. That's ridiculous. The school district's attorney had a whole lot to say about that. He went on for like 10 minutes. While he was running his mouth, I was typing. Yeah, I pulled it right up. Yeah. And then I read it and I said, PA code 230-207, A1. And then I read right what it said. Now all of a sudden, crickets, don't hear nothing. But see, that's their biggest nightmare is that amen, it is, oh God, girl. When I first came, I had to go to the law library to find everything. It was a mess. I had to contact attorney friends that I knew. It was just a mess when I first started. It was exciting. I was constantly on the phone trying to build relationships with all of these different individuals. And it was hard because they knew what kind of person I was. So they really didn't want me to know all this information or where to find it. But then as the internet started to grow and it became, When I started doing this, it was damn near a C prompt to look up stuff on the internet. It wasn't set up the way it is now. Well, you can do well, there was no Facebook. I mean, MySpace, that was about it. And even that, it was, oh, we'll go to a chat room. That's the kind of stuff they had back then. But you couldn't find a lot. Many agencies were not even online. Not to mention all the documents that weren't online. I mean, I can find cases online now. I don't have to go to the law library if I don't want to. I mean, the books that are available, it's easier to even buy a book because all of the needed case law that I need for special education are in these books. And guess what? That's what I meant to tell you too, Michelle. You know, that's infiltrating the enemy's camp. Go into that website, the LRP would get those books. That's all about school districts and what they shouldn't do so they don't get caught in school districts that did get caught. And this is what happened to them. And this is how they lost the case. That's what that's all about. All of that information. It's like I infiltrated their camp. There's not, and even the woman at the place, she said, there's not that many advocates that are actually accessing this program, this thing. And that's where OSEP sends all of their letters, their policy letters goes to this organization. Oh yeah. So it's changed a lot. And I'm telling you, if you don't know how to use the internet to get answers, contact me. This is the place to be. Facebook has been one of the most wonderful things for me as an advocate because I want to get the word out. When I started, I had to rely on state agencies like the Department of Mental Retardation and the Department of Mental Health and all of the human service agencies. They didn't want anything to do with me. The reason why they didn't is because they had grant money going into all of the school districts, or the school district had money going into all of these agencies that were allegedly providing services to these kids, and they weren't. So they don't want me going in there finding out that they weren't doing their jobs and fighting, because now I can fight them, because under federal law, if a kid that's receiving services from the school district and a state agency like Human Services, the Department of Mental Retardation, if you have, I don't know, some states call it DDS, the Department of Disabled Services, Disability Services, or whatever their little acronyms are, you can actually take them to court. You can pull them into a hearing. And the hearing officer can issue an order against a state agency if they've already been involved with the student to provide them additional services, to sort of do a cost-shared agreement with the public school system. So I find trainings on the internet from lawyers given to school districts to provide the same information in the book. Exactly. See, what parents don't want to understand is they got a club going on for real. Okay? They meet all the time. You know who doesn't meet? Us. We don't meet. We are not strong. We need to be as united as they are. There's a reason why there's a resistance going on in this country. Okay? We need to be that resistance for special education. I know one thing. I'm the resistance. Okay? I don't care anything about what they say. I'm the resistance. You guys need help, you contact me. Okay? If I can do it in 3-4 minutes, I'll do it. I mean, if it's going to be more detailed, it's going to cost you a little bit of money. But I'm telling you, I'm trying real hard not to charge you people. Okay? Because I know what you're up against. I know how difficult it is, and it sucks. It bites, right, Barbara? It just bites big time because the cases get complicated as they go on. So if you create that paper trail, you relieve some of that pressure on you. If you understand how the laws work and you know you're right, believe me, if you believe you're right, you're right. All you have to do is find the law that supports you to prove that you're right. That's what we need. The internet is our best friend. So we need to make sure that we spread the word. We get the word out. Okay? You guys need to tell as many people about this. I swear to God, I'm trying to do this every day, Monday to Friday. At 12 o'clock, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to try to do it again tomorrow. If I can't do it tomorrow during the day, I'm going to do it tomorrow around 7:30. So between 7:30 and 9 o'clock, I can do it. If you guys want me to do it, you tell people to come. I will give them the information. And with little helpers like Michelle, we got this. We just need to show we're not taking it anymore. And we can fight back. I got some silly attorney calling me up. They think I'm afraid of a dumb attorney. I don't like attorneys, first of all. I have absolutely no respect for most of them. Only a couple that I've ever met that I actually liked. Okay, that's because they agreed with me. but and they were fighting the good fight like I do. So I don't really, I mean, any lawyer, I just don't care. I'm not afraid of lawyers. No, don't care. I don't care about nothing about no hearing officer. I certainly don't care about anybody in the school district, school superintendents, teachers, other advocates. I mean, if you're not on my side, you're my enemy, as far as I'm concerned. And I take no prisoners. I show no mercy. I don't care. I don't care about your credentials. None of that means anything to me. And that's what parents have to understand. Stop giving them kudos because they have a few letters after their names. Because if they can't put up, then they need to shut up. 99% of the time, you parents are right. You're right on the money. You're spot on. The reason why you can't get anywhere is one, in order for them to get over on you, they got to lie and cheat. And they don't have any problem doing that. They don't care nothing about lying. They don't care about nothing falsifying records, talking about how they didn't get stuff. I'm going to teach you about this other thing under rights law that one of my other parents, my girl, she found this thing that is unbelievable. It's under rights law. It's called the pyramid of something that I forgot. But it is unbelievable, and it's exactly what school districts are doing. And everybody knows it's true. This is exactly what they do. They've done it to like 3 of my parents right now, all the way to the bottom rung. But it's really, really cool. I'm just looking. I know, that's right. That's right. My girl, Leanne, once I showed her some tricks, girlfriend found out, what? I can find this on the internet? Shoot, she ran it. She writes better motions than any lawyer I have ever seen. I mean, anybody. She is unbelievable in her own cases. She gets scared every now and then, and I don't even think she gets scared. I think it's because she gets so frustrated because it's hard, and it's your kid. So, you know, she kind of gets scared, but she really doesn't. But that's one tough cookie. She is not playing, okay? And she gets 99% of her information from the internet. Sometimes I get so busy, and I just get frustrated, and I can't think straight. I'll call her up. I trained her, and I'll call her up, Leanne, where do I get this? And she'll say, oh, and while we're talking, she's finding stuff. But that's the way you have to do it. And she does the same thing to me. She'll call me up and she'll say, Tammy, tell me what, and I'll say, it means this, this, and this. Because the way you interpret the law is very important. Don't read too much into the law. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's written in layman's terms, not difficult to understand. It's written in step-by-step instruction. Understand this. Idea is for the school districts to implement and the state, and for you, the parent, to enforce. That's what IDEA is all about. Nothing more, nothing less. And so, because of that, because you're the enforcer, you got backup. You got the state, allegedly, which 9 times out of 10, you don't really have the state on your side. But you do have the feds, because the feds back up all that. They're neutral. They're saying, this is what our laws say. This is what it is. This is what we're going to do. Okay? And there's lots of information on the OSEP website about states and what they're doing or not doing, and what the feds found and what they're going to do and how much money they're going to get, if they get it all, if they get some of it. But a whole bunch of stuff under OSEP that's really fascinating. But you are in control of more than what you think. This, first of all, it's all about you. The only reason why we're having meetings and talking about this is because kids with disabilities. You're a kid. So you are the head honcho in charge. They want you to think it's the other way around. No, it's not. They want you to think that they're the last stop. No, they're the first. Okay, first. Okay, because you can go all the way up to federal court, and it's been done. It's been done. So don't let them think that. Don't let them make you think that they're in control and they're smarter than you and they have more power. They don't. They truly do not. The only power they have is the power you give them. Don't give them that. They want, perfect example. Stupid school district sent me a consent, because I'm the guardian of this little kid, because we got it in court, specifically for educational purposes, so I can represent the kid in a hearing if I choose so. The stupid school district sent me a document to sign to release records, the kids' records, private records. The document is blank. It doesn't say what records they're releasing, and it doesn't say who they're releasing them to or for what purpose. We sent it right back. And I said, are you kidding? I don't know who you, you need to go read the requirements, because I don't have to release anything, anybody, number one. Number two, in order to get this done, number one. Number two, what part of informed consent don't you understand? Informed consent means you have to know, go look up 34 CFR 300.39, talks all about what informed consent means and what districts have to do to make sure that happens. That applies to everything. Informed consent is listed 537 times under the IDEA regulations of only 307 pages. That's how important it is. And it's your consent that they're talking about, not the school district, not the special ed director. They're talking about whoever has custody of that kid, whoever has the parental rights. In order for things to happen, the school district needs written, informed consent. Blank stuff not happening. Not happening. It just happened in a case with Baba, in which we filed for a hearing. And the school district decided they're going to just release kids' records, not tell the mother who's going through what for, or even what records they were releasing. Hearing officer had to tell them. You have to tell the parent what you're releasing under 34 CFR 300.39. Don't understand why you're cray-cray. But this is what they do. They act like they have custody of your kid. They don't. School districts talk about stuff all the time. They don't have custody. Stop giving them the authority. They don't know more than you. About your kid? Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. And if you feel that way, you need to call me. Call me. I'll boost it. I'll give you the confidence you need. I'll tell you all about how great you are and how much power you have and how you don't have to take it, okay? I will give you that confidence. You call me. We're going to have one whole show that's all about confidence building to make you feel like you are the smartest chick in that room or the smartest guy. Dads, you're the smartest people in that room when it comes to your kid. What you believe to be happening with your child, I am telling you, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and 99% of the time, what you believe is true. It is going on. Your kid is having those kinds of difficulties. They're trying to minimize it because minimize it means no money. So that's what they're trying to do, especially with kids with autism. When they see your kid with autism, I don't care if it's high functioning or severely, cognitively and severely challenged. They look at your kid and they see dollar signs. Your kid is a giant dollar. They see money. Oh my God, the child has autism. You would think that these people would just create programs. They call them ABA programs. They're full of doo-doo. They're not. ABA is scientifically based, and they don't even know what that means, apparently. In a lot of schools, they call them ABA. They're approaches. Anytime somebody tells you we're using ABA approaches, that's an eclectic approach to applied behavioral analysis. That's what it is. I can give you the site to go to find out exactly what ABA means. One paragraph. The definition. Go to the BACB.com. That's where behaviorists go to get certification. Go there. And it'll say, you just click on the thing. What is behavioral analysis? And it'll tell you what it is. It's real easy. I've used it a lot of times, cut and paste and put it in arguments because they're stupid. So I've done a lot of talking today. I have school districts tell parents that they cannot do anything unless parents sign a blanket. Yeah, over my dead, rotten, stinking, smelly, maggot-filled body. Will that ever happen with my clients? As a matter of fact, here's what I do. If I get the student records and I find out a parent just did that before I got on the case, guess what I do? I make the parent sign another letter rescinding her signature. Now they're mad. Oh, I'm big on rescinding signatures. So like if a parent signs an IEP and then the parent, 6 months into it, the parent hires me to go in and represent, and I look at this raggedy IEP, yeah, we rescind that signature. So now the last accepted IEP that the kid had, that's the one that's in effect. School districts hate me. I do it all the time. It's fun. Sometimes I do it because it's fun. But rescinding a signature, easy. Soon as the parent puts it in writing and sends it to the school district, done. And then you tell them. So therefore, the last accepted IEP will be this one. And you send them a copy of it. Oh, yeah. Don't let any parents do that. Hello? I mean, that's like going to buy a car. And I actually had this happen. I work for GMAC years ago. This guy calls me up and he's mad. So he signs a contract. The contract will say how much a car costs. There's no numbers in the contract. Dude signed a blank contract. That's what the parents are doing. You're signing a blank contract. That means the school district can do anything they want with your kid's shit. With your kid's records. Sorry about that. That's what that means. Why would you give somebody that much authority? Especially some school district. I can understand, a neuropsychologist, or, Stephen Hawkins even, Neil Tyson deGrasse, whatever that guy's name is. I can understand doing it for him. But a public school system? Are you kidding me? Don't sign anything that's blank. The school district gives you a about it. All you have to do is cite this law. 34 CFR 300.39. That's what you give. And you send it to the school. And you tell them you got 2 seconds to give me what I need. Because this is illegal. I don't know who you're giving this kid to. You could be giving it to the janitor for all I know. That's right. Never sign those. Much better to take in records. They request. I let the parents, under no obligation to give them anything. That's right. They're not. You're not under any. And if the school district says, well, you have to, you say, well, I guess you're going to have to take me to court. That's what I want you to do. Let's go to court. Not hearing. Because somehow you've decided you have more authority. I've asked, and this is not, it's funny, but I do it all the time. I've asked school districts for the custody papers because they're stupid. I put it in writing all the time. Please provide me with the custody papers that the judge issued an order terminating the parent's rights and giving the rights of the parent regarding this child to you. I'm going to need a copy of the custody papers. I've sent it to the school district special ed directors. I've sent it to teachers. And I've sent it to hearing officers. And I've sent it to the school district's attorney. Yeah. And you know what they do? Now they got nothing to say. That's right. You don't have custody. You don't even have the training 9 times out of 10 to even make statements like this. Yeah, no, we're not doing none of that. Do not, under any parents out there, I swear to God, do not sign anything that's blank. You give it back to them and you tell them, as soon as you fill it out, I'll sign it. Would you buy a car that's with a blank contract? Yeah, that guy in that story I was telling you, that got sidetracked on. Yeah, that guy, yeah, he called me up. I told him, you're lucky your payments aren't $1 million a month. He was complaining because his payment was too high. Duh. After he tells me he signs a blank contract. I mean, seriously, people, when you do stuff like that, you leave yourself wide open to all kinds of stuff they can do with your kid. Do not sign anything blank, ever. And if you've done it before, rescind your signature right now. Put it in writing, send it over to them, tell them you're rescinding your signature. If you don't like that IEP they wrote, rescind your signature. Or go back and you can reject it right now. You can reject it. If they wrote an IEP and after talking to a few people and doing a little research after you signed it, you feel like you're stuck, never stop. Reject it. Go back and reject it. They hate that too. I do it all the time. It's fun. You can reject it in part, and then if you're rejecting the IEP in part, cite the parts you're rejecting. All of the parts that you're not rejecting have to continue to be implemented. That's what you do. That's how you get them. Little tricks like that of the trade. That's how you get them. It pisses them off. They don't know what to do with that because and that's another thing. Anytime you go to a meeting and these fools start talking about when no other parents have it, you tell them, excuse you, are we here to talk about my kid and me or somebody else's kid? Because I think we need a few more people up in here. Okay? We're not talking about other people. Just like I can't talk about, you want to talk about other kids? Is that where we're going? Because next time I come in, I have a whole bunch of other people's kids in here. Is that what you want to discuss? Of course not. You don't want to discuss that. Don't tell me I can't. Anything you do, that's how this game is played. And I'm getting real hyped up about it because I get so mad. But there's a way you can say that, what I just said, real nice. Sometimes I get a little nasty because they're stupid. And I don't process stupid well. You can't, my brain does not, it refuses to process stupid. That's not funny, Barbara. Stop laughing at me. They cannot sign anything unless the parents sign blank medical release forms. First of all, Why would you send no medical release forms? What medical releases? Those stupid school people don't even have, unless you're a doctor, medical doctor. You're not getting my kids medical anything. Are you kidding me? The only thing you're going to get is an evaluation. That's not a medical record. They're going to ask for it. Those teachers don't know what the hell they're looking at. Neither does the SPED director, unless they're licensed physicians in the new set. Soon as you give me a copy of your license to practice medicine, again, this actually happened years ago. I was at a team meeting with a SPED director. He thought he was all of that in a bag of chips. He has since retired. But he was infamous for being the nastiest man on earth regarding special education. Everybody was afraid of this man. Okay, Tammy walks in. First of all, I'm gonna teach you guys a whole bunch of other strategies too. But first of all, here's the little short guy. Okay. I walked in. I'm 5'9" with no shoes on. I walked in with 6-inch stilettos. Yes. And I stood right next to him. He didn't like that because he was of the, how can I put this? Politically correct. He believed that because he was a man, he had the last say. I don't believe that. That's a bunch of nonsense. Okay. So we go to the team meeting, and he decided that he could determine that the child doesn't get any medication when we go on field trips for his ADD. Now, get this. Every time the kid goes on a field trip, the kid's getting suspended because he's not getting his medication. Or the parents have to go with that, stop going to work, to go with the kid on vacation. Go on a vacation, field trips, in order to make sure that the kid gets it. So that doesn't make sense. That's a denial of faith, and it's discriminatory. And the kid's getting detention where he doesn't get detentions if he's in school all day. Kid never got a detention until he went on a field trip because he wasn't getting his meds. Kid took 100 milligrams of Adderall, I think it was. So I get wind of it. So we go to a team meeting. So this fool, he sits up there and he's being Mr. Joe Special, and he's doing like this. Well, I feel, this is what he's doing. Well, I feel that he doesn't need the medication. I said, good. This is what I want you to do. You feel he doesn't need. When did you get your medical degree? And I'm going to need a copy. Since you can make medical decisions now. Is that what you're telling me? So now I got all his people sitting around. Their mouths are wide open like this. Like, I can't believe she just challenged him like that. And then he was he liked to call me by my first name, but everybody called him Doctor by his last name. He called me Tammy. I called him Dean. Everybody else would call him Dr. So-and-so. Bite me. You want to call me Tammy? I'm calling you Dean. And that's what I did. I said, look, Dean, I'm going to need a copy of your medical degree and your license to practice medicine to determine that the child's medication that he's supposed to take, you decided he doesn't. Because as far as I know, you have no jurisdiction over the medication part. Where's the nurse? Because I'm about to report her butt for taking orders from you. Special ed director, not a doctor, a director. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to need him, because then I reported him to the public health department. I reported the nurse for listening to stupid. So the next thing I find out is that the next day is that the stupid director got told by the state Department of Public Health that they have to give the kids medication, or they're going to file against them and come down and shut some stuff down. Yeah, they got in major trouble. So guess who had a nurse on his field trips? And guess what they told the parent? You're not going to believe this. And they think this means something to me. I don't care. They told the parent, okay, that this is the only kid that's getting medication on field trips. The mother calls me up and tells me I busted out laughing. I said, good, until I get another client in that school district who needs meds on vacations. Then he'll be the second kid. See, that's what, okay, that's what time it is, all right? That's what we're going to do, because everybody's stupid. So that's how you challenge them. The guy didn't expect me to challenge him. Now, I had other kids in his school district, and one time he called me up at home because he knew I was evil. I was eviling, okay? He knew he didn't know what to do with me. So he called me up on this one particular kid. He did not want to go to hearing, and he called me up and said, what do you want? I said, what do you mean what I want? I want that kid in a private school yesterday. What school? I want him in Cardinal Cushing. I want him in there as a residential. Now. And I had him so bad, it was really bad. Because I was filing for a hearing. And he was going to have to demonstrate a whole bunch of stuff that he couldn't. And one of the things was that this kid's been sitting at home for the last year. Yeah, because they didn't want to send a bus. And so he's been twiddling his thumbs sitting at home. Yeah. So he told me, I don't want the state down here digging through my records. I said, I bet. He said, I want it yesterday. I want it in writing, and I want it now. Yep, that's what I want. So when does he start? He said, let me get the papers rolling. Yes, hurry up. You don't have long. You just don't. That's what we're doing. Do we understand each other now? And he understood me. He knew that I didn't care nothing about him. I wasn't afraid of him. Once he understood that, he was still tough. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. He fought me on everything. But I don't care. I like to fight. And my biggest weapon against them is they think I don't know. That's what they underestimate my skills. And that's wonderful. I love it. I welcome that. Keep thinking I'm stupid. Keep thinking I don't know. Then I start running my mouth, and now everybody's like, uh-oh. Yes. I like the uh-oh factor. So that's what we're doing, okay? Don't sign anything. Parents, I swear to God, you know what I tell my parents when I first get them? First of all, I want to know everything. Okay, that's number one. Second of all, if you sign anything without my knowledge, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to break your fingers all the way up to here, okay? Don't sign nothing unless I see it. I have to see it. If you have signed something that I didn't see, go get it. I need to see it because you're about to if I don't like it, you're rescinding your signature. Then I'm going to explain to you why you're rescinding your signature. That's another thing. A good advocate trains her people. You train your parents as you go along so that they understand why you're doing what you're doing. You never do anything without your parents knowing. You tell them, you explain to them why you want to do it, and then you get the okay from them. Do you want me to do this? Yes, go. And I tell parents when I take their cases, you can't tie my hands. I can't do it your way. Your way doesn't work. My way does. Your way doesn't work. And the reason why I know your way doesn't work, you called me. When you want to be the advocate, you go do it. Knock your socks off. Have a great time. But if I'm your advocate, I advocate for your kid like your kid is mine. I did that to the point where I just got guardianship of a kid through a judge, but just for the educational piece. I actually got guardianship of a kid. So I take my job seriously. I'm going to represent your kid like it's mine. I'm not going to do anything without your knowledge, ever. Ever, ever, ever. What I'm going to do is represent your kid, to get your kid the services that your kid needs. It's not going to be red carpet. Everything I ask for is going to be reasonable. It's going to be based on what your kid's unique needs are, which are based on the evaluations that we got done, period. That's why I usually get what I need for my kids. It might take a while too. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm not God. I'm good. I'm not that good. Nothing happens overnight. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I don't have to file for a hearing. Sometimes I don't have to go through with the hearing if I do file it. But I fight hard. I fight hard for your kid. And that's what you guys have to do. You can't tie the advocate's hand. You also can't let the advocate run amok and do whatever they want and not disagree with them. Disagree. I've had many fights with my parents. I'm Barbara. But it's because I get frustrated too. I get frustrated when I'm trying to explain something and there's a but in there from the parent. There's no buts. I'm doing everything that I can. I'm showing you all of the laws. I'm telling you whys and what fors. And if you don't like it, then you don't like my approach. That's fine. You need to go find an advocate that fits you. Collaboration it's just not, the definition of collaboration to me is not the same definition that the school districts use, that they've planted this seed for you people to use. It's not the same. I'm telling you, it's not the same. So you guys have to you have to keep getting trained. I just talked to a guy about psychology. I did an interview for a class, and he said something that I'm going to take and I'm going to use it. Advocacy in special education is a lifelong learning, because even when your kid's done, now your child is an adult with special needs, and depending on how severe the disabilities are, there's a whole nother world waiting for you. And I can take you through that world too. But it's basically the same thing. You're gonna have to deal with agencies. You're gonna have to deal with a lot of nonsense and a lot of people thinking that they're the boss of your kid or your adult child, and they're not. Everybody wants to be the boss. Nobody wants to be the little Indians. You're the boss. There's only one boss, and that's you. It doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter what they say. They're getting paid to service your child, to provide the appropriate services and supports for your child to access the general curriculum. That's the phrase, access the general curriculum. Always, always, always remember that. I need you guys to come back. I'm going to do this again tomorrow, and let me see, what can I do? What do you guys want to talk about tomorrow? How about I do this? How about the last two I've done on evaluation? So how about you guys come to me, and it's going to be all in for evaluations. Anything you want to know about evaluations, I'm going to put out there. I'm going to put, I wish you guys would go look at the videos that I created for evaluation procedures, because after you guys do this one, the next one is going to be about how to set up your complaint, how to write it up so it's clear and concise, includes all of the documents that you need, includes the proof that you need to send to the school and the right words to put in there. There's a way to do it, because 9 times out of 10 you'll be writing the same one year after year, because or month after month, because they're dumb. They're just dumb. So let me know what you guys want to talk about. Like I said, evaluations, all you have to remember with evaluations is they have to be valid, technically sound instruments. They have to include certain aspects, and the way you find what the evaluation process is 34 CFR 300.304, which Michelle was great to put out there, where to go. Follow that link, and you will see exactly what the procedures are for the school district to follow. And don't be afraid of regulations. Do not be afraid. It's written in layman's terms. It's very simple language. If you have a problem, inbox me or text me or call me and send me an email. My email address is spedissues@yahoo.com. And just say that you're from this. I'm going to change my email address. I'm going to create an email address just for this, so that you guys can get in touch with me and I'll be able to find you. So I'm going to say bye-bye. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it for the same time again. If you guys want a different time, let me know, okay? Ta-ta for now. Talk to you later and all that good stuff. I hope this was informative. I'm going to try to get more stuff for you guys, okay? I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Oh, don't forget to go to my shop and purchase my crochet. Tomorrow I might wear one of my hats to show you what I can do, because I'm really good at it, okay? Okay. I have a sweater I just made. I love it. It's just gorgeous, nice and comfy. But anyway, check out my shop and let me know if you guys want anything. I make these beautiful, comfy, cozy socks that everybody loves. They're fluffy and warm and cozy. It's perfect for the winter coming up. Please check it out, okay? Bye-bye. Love you all. Keep the faith. Keep up the fight.